Well, good evening.
Hey, we're not gonna open up the show with that bullshit, okay? We'll get to that. You keep that. You wait for that, okay? Yeah, you wait for that. You couldn't wait 2 seconds, huh? You
I
already
just
trying to get my passion
said good
already
evening. That's all
early.
I said. I
No,
just
I'm not
said good
talking about
evening.
you. You
That's
see
all
the
I said.
comment. You see the comment. Look at the
Oh,
comment. I
oh,
wasn't
oh,
talking to
oh,
you.
oh, oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
wasn't
of
talking to you.
course.
Yeah, it,
I'm
it, it,
sorry.
was- it
I'm
was
sorry.
about you.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm
Well,
sorry.
just for that, you
Forgive me.
comment gone. No, you good, brother. You good. But how's it going? Well, welcome to the Mizzle and Dub Show. As we sit here and talk about what it is of Week 5 and a one-sided football game in Santa Clara. As I guess this show will be dedicated to the fucking Niners. I guess whatever. But
No. Not the whole
I'm
show.
joking.
We will
I'm
talk about
joking.
some
I'm
playoff
joking.
baseball, but
I'm
but
I'm
at the
joking.
same
I'm
time,
joking.
I know. But at the same time, there is something heavy on Mrs. Hart that he would like to speak about. So I will turn that over to Mrs.
Yeah, man. I don't like what's going on in Israel. I feel for everything that's going out there, especially with all the stuff that I'm reading that they're kidnapping the women and the children, and they're doing all the killing and putting the women and the children in cages and all kind of stuff like that. I just want to send all my prayers out to Israel and hope that they whatever's going on that they get situated. I know we do this show about sports and everything like that, but we live in a real world and things go on besides sports, and that doesn't get talked about enough. So if anybody has time, let's just take a moment to say a prayer for Israel and all the families and stuff that's going out there. I just want to get that out there before we do what we do.
Those that know that I do not hide or go away from my faith. Um, that was instilled to me by my grandparents and my mother. And the one thing they always said was, you always want peace in Israel. You don't mess with the holy city. You do not mess with God's people.
You don't mess with women and children.
Vengeance
You
is
don't do
mine,
that.
says the Lord.
You
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. I will repay. There's a lot of people that are going to stand with Israel because, again, that's the holy city, and you're messing with God's people, His chosen people.
Amen. Amen.
If you really want to see the wrath of God, keep doing that. I wouldn't advise you to do that, but you want to see God's wrath, keep doing that, and you will understand that He is the Lord God. And that's all I got to say about it.
Thank you for giving me that minute, my brother. I just want that was weighing on me
No,
after all the
no,
stuff I
no.
was reading. That's just going on out there. It's just ridiculous. What? Ah, let's get some positivity going on right now. Let's dial into it. And thank you for the two viewers. We already know who one viewer is. He already got his comments posted up there. Whatever. So who's the other
he
viewer is? Thank you for viewing in. And if you have a comment, you can go ahead and comment, and we'll get you on the show. We will have a guest on here pretty soon, but me and Dub are just going to lead on, and then we'll bring our guest on here pretty soon.
and we possibly might have more than one. So just you never know. We always are full of surprises on the Mizzle An Dub Show. But before we tackle the NFL, um, all I'm going to say is
Bruce
Mizzle.
Bochy.
That's coming up. That's coming up soon, but no, not now. Um, even though they are one win away from going to the American League Championship Series the first time since they went back to back in 2010 and 2011. But
Not shocked with who their manager is.
No, not at all. Really? Okay, well. Get your chop ready. Because there you go. There you go.
It's about the only thing positive going for me right now is my Florida State Seminoles, man. That's about the only thing I got going right now. I mean, it's tough.
Well, I
they
mean,
played a tremendous
you
game.
were kind of nervous because
game.
you gave me that. You gave me the, I'm getting nervous again about these damn Seminoles, and then at the end, they find a way to get it done by the final score of was it 39 39. It was, I know they scored 39, but I just forgot how many points.
It was 17.
Georgia
17 is what the other team had. Georgia Tech had 17. Oh, but the reason 17. Why I got nervous is because they were doing what they were supposed to do. They were putting the hammer down on them. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, that 99 return to the house, I was like, oh boy. They give it, you know, that Georgia Tech offense can explode at any time if you don't pay attention to them. They will score at high volume. So when that 99 return happened, I was like, yep. But what can I say? There's so many explosive players on Florida State. I mean, Jordan Travis didn't have to do much. The running game was spectacular. I mean, I know he probably threw a couple of touchdowns, but that defense is just playing tremendous. So, like I said, we still got to play Louisville, and Louisville, I believe, is still undefeated. And yeah.
And Louisville gave it to Notre Dame this past Saturday also. So I mean, the Louisville Cardinals
indeed
are not a slouch. That damn near could be a ABC Saturday night primetime game for sure.
I wouldn't be sure if they can flex it. But I just got a question while we're touching in on college football, and you know, this is not, or this is kind of like a stick to this team and not a stick to the team. What the hell is going on with Miami? Well, all they had to do was kneel the ball. Why were you trying to run the ball? I don't understand these coaches that try to outsmart themselves or do something. Kneel. The best formation in football is the victory formation. That's all you have to do. Was take a knee.
Why are you trying to channel your inner Joe Pisarcik? I really want to know. And for those that don't know who Joe Pisarcik is, he was the quarterback for the Giants in 1978 when the miracle at the Meadowlands happened where Pisarcik fell on the ball came out, and of course, you play to win the game. Yes, that Herman Edwards, who was a fantastic defender for the Eagles, part of their first Super Bowl team of Super Bowl 15 in the 1980 season, scooped up the football and scored a touchdown, and to which the Eagles won the game. The game was over. There was 33 seconds left. Game was over. Mario Cristobal, former U player, comes back home, beats that coach, gets him off to a good start. Why are you running the ball?
I have no idea.
As the college football gods would have it, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, which by the way is the alma mater of one Roman Reigns, who played defensive end for the Yellow Jackets, his beloved Yellow Jacket stings it to the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes get their first loss of the season. If a certain guest comes on tonight who is a Miami Hurricane fan and unleashes some passion, much to Mizzle's displeasure, you'll understand why. But yeah, I don't understand. But my Georgia Bulldogs handled business against Kentucky, put up a 51 burger as they remain undefeated. They did what they were supposed to do, so that's always a good thing. So, but yeah, it is what it is, and yes, it was a massacre tonight down there at Great America, and most people
slightly
that really
kind of
know
ashamed
me,
to have this over my shoulder right now.
well, most people that know me know I'm a very humble, non-trash talking Niner fan, unless somebody wants to bring it out of me. Now every fan base in the NFL, all 32 teams, have that group of obnoxious, dumb fans that sometimes you really just want to smack the hell out of. Every team has it. Lord knows there are some members of the 49er faithful that just give us a bad name. Some of the videos you've seen at preseason games of them fighting each other, men hitting women, for what? Fighting in the
Which
bathroom.
used to be the Raider fans.
For what?
Think about that.
Well, in Oakland, yes. In Las Vegas, not so much. But
Because
every
they ain't
team
showing
has
up.
that too. That too. I mean, that is a very factual statement. But my thing is, and I've been saying all week long, I thought it was going to be a close, hard-fought defensive game. I was not expecting them to put up a 40-burger and beat them to the chagrin of 42-10. I was not expecting that. But I mean, but something my old boss used to say, who was a Cowboy fan, and he made a very good analogy. And maybe this particular version of the Cowboys team is just a bad matchup for the 49ers, kind of like how the Niners were a bad matchup for the Seahawks all those years that Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback, hence why Kaepernick only beat the Seahawks one time. Something along those lines. Like the Cowboys can match up well against anybody else, but for whatever reason, they don't seem to match up well against the Niners. And that's that's something to think about, because I mean, in a sense, back in the 90s, the Niners, until Dion came for the 1 year, and then the Niners kind of figured out. But those 2 years that the Cowboys went back to back in 92 and 93, the Niners were a bad matchup for the Cowboys, mainly because of Charles Haley being the final piece of that Cowboys defense that put the Cowboys over the top. And you saw what happened. They won 3 out of 4 in that 4-year span in the mid-90s. But maybe this particular Cowboys team that is currently constructed just happens to be a bad matchup for the Niners. And I mean, what more can you say about Brock Purdy? He was outstanding again tonight. And I said, people kept and people were like, well, where's George Kittle? What happened? Nothing happened to George Kittle. It just wasn't his time to get on as a pass catcher. Well, tonight, 3 times he caught the ball, 3 times he found the end zone, and gave somebody some big points, just like Brandon Ayuk did. And Fred Warner is all okay. I'll just say like this: Fred Warner.
It should be time to start talking about that guy, an MVP candidate. He should be getting talked about to be an MVP, because all he has doing is been consistent since he's been in with the Niners.
Fred Warner is already an all-time 49er. I can put Fred Warner right now in my top 10 of all-time 49ers. He has been that damn good. Yes, I said.
I don't disagree with that.
What
he's doing right now is what Patrick Willis was doing. That he's filling the void that you guys lost with Patrick Willis, but he's a little bit. Don't listen to what I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying that one is better, but I believe he's a little bit better than Pat Willis was, because Pat can cover both sides of the field, but man, Fred Warner just sees the field a lot better. It's just something about his instincts he just knows where the play is going. It's just tackling machine.
They both are very good sideline to sideline, although
yes.
And I love Patrick Willis, but Fred Warner is way better in coverage than Patrick Willis.
That's what I was going to say. Yes.
Fred Warner was downfield with Brandon Cooks on that deep ball, which even though Cooks had a step on him, but Fred Warner was right there. Yeah. Middle linebackers are not supposed to be deep in coverage like that, but Fred Warner was.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to understand how he just slipped to the Niners when he did, because I watched him at BYU. and he was the real deal playing for the Brigham Young Cougars.
You just got a good scouting department.
He was a late round draft pick. Dre Greenlaw, even though he got away with a 15-yard penalty, but he still a late round pick. Rounds 3 and above under John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they have hit on some picks. Warner,
facts,
Kittle, Greenlaw, Elijah Mitchell, freaking Ronnie Bell. That comes to mind. I mean, the later rounds is where the Niners have found their gems. But, I mean, it was just,
dominance. Just go ahead and say it. Dominance.
Yeah.
There was nothing that you can say about the game. It was one-sided. One team showed up to play a football game, and you could clearly see who was more prepared. That's flat out. You came with a game plan. You shut out Michael Parsons. You didn't hear his name at all.
No, you did not.
All.
And that's rare.
That's very rare because that man gets it. Just the way you guys use Christian McCaffrey, I can't speak of it enough. It's just, I don't know what the Carolina Panthers was doing when they thought about just letting him go right there. That was just, that was like a blessing.
But here's the thing. He wasn't the Niners' leading rusher tonight. It was Jordan Mason.
Was it Debo? Yes.
No, it was Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason.
No relation, because if I was related to that man, I'd have been on the sideline. Let's just know about that. No relation. None.
Still wearing his Ritter gear. Just understand that. He would be on the sideline at Gene Stadium, but he would still be in the silver and black. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I just love football.
Yeah,
I go anywhere to watch football.
But now, anyone that has watched this show knows that I have been begging, asking, demanding, damn it, give this man some playing time. And this is true. When you average almost 7 yards a carry, which he did tonight, averaging 6.9 runs a carry, and found the end zone to where he just went untouched and basically just said bye-bye. Like I said, you did not need to abuse Caffrey.
No.
Which, McCaffrey had a mediocre, 51 yards, but still found the end zone for his 14th consecutive game with a touchdown. Kittle led the way with 3 catches for 67 yards, but 3 of his catches, he was as open as you can be finding the end zone. So, it is what it is. But I will say this. Enjoy tonight, Niners, but you have a trap game coming up on the shores of Lake Erie. Do not take the Cleveland Browns lightly. Yes, because the Browns are going to come in playing pissed off because they laid an egg against. I'm serious. The Browns could be 3-1 because really the only true game that they lost was last week against the Ravens. Because as crappy as they played, they still had a lead against the Steelers. If TJ Watt does not scoop up that fumble that was forced by Hargrove of the Steelers, the Browns easily could be 3-1. I don't
disagree with that. I don't disagree with that.
So enjoy tonight. Enjoy tonight, but tomorrow, focus on the Browns because, number one, you got to go to Cleveland. You got to go to the Dog Pound. You got to go to the shores of Lake Erie, and you got to go play a 10 a.m. game. Do not take the Browns lightly.
Their defense is pretty decent.
Yes. Their defense is pretty doggone good.
Yeah.
Their defense is real good.
I don't think they lost a beat in the running game with Nick Chubb, even though Nick Chubb is a different human being, don't get me wrong. But I don't think they lost a step with the guy they got back there right now. So you could, yeah. And you don't know which Deshaun Watson you're going to get. And him and Amari Cooper could have a good connection. No. So it could set up to be a good game. And like you said, it's a 10 o'clock game. So any West Coast team coming to either the Midwest, East Coast to do a 10 o'clock start, it's a little different. Depends on how long they be out there. So let's see how the Niners handle the travel plans. It could benefit them.
Yes, it could. So, like I said, enjoy tonight, but do not tread lightly on the Browns. You just can't do that. You just cannot do that. You just cannot tread lightly. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. It would be wise. Now, lately, when they've gone to 10 o'clock games, they've had the formula. They've gone early and stay for a week because 2 of their next 3 games is on the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken. So week 6, they're in Cleveland. Then
you guys will probably be staying on that side.
Let me see. Hold on. So yeah, so the Browns next week. Then after that is the Monday night game against the Vikings in Minnesota. So they'll probably will be staying somewhere in the Midwest since they're going to have Midwest games. And then after that, you come back home for the Bengals. Then you have your bye. So this is your Midwest.
And the Bengals are catching stride right now.
But the Bengals are a home game. But yes, Jamar Chase got people some fantasy points tonight with his performance. Saying
what did Mr. Chase tell the media? What did he tell the media when they asked him? He told them.
He said,
"I'll say it for you.
Quote,
I'll say it for you. I'll say it for you. Unless you're gonna say it, but I'll say it for you.
No, go ahead.
I'm always fucking open.
Yeah, you have full reign. Go ahead.
I'm always fucking open.
He was today.
Yeah.
He definitely was today for sure.
And welcome to our 5 viewers.
$192.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, and we can see it's a full-fledged 49er faithful comment in the comment section right now.
And you think it wouldn't? Come on now.
True.
You think it wouldn't?
True. But at the same time, they are 2 of our biggest supporters of the show, and for that,
indeed,
we love them for it, and we appreciate it. Indeed, cheers, indeed. But it's just one of those things to where you gotta understand that you certainly wouldn't expect their performance to be like that. But I mean, well, right back at you, Mr. Jones. Right back at you. But can we just now? Somebody wrote on my page, "Hey, you guys might go into fast." Whoa, slow your roll. I don't see 20-0 happening. I don't. I just don't. Doesn't matter.
Whoa. Pump your brakes.
Again, I had to correct him.
Seattle.
I had to correct him.
You still got to play Seattle. I don't care what Seattle record is. You will always play them tough.
I said I don't see 20-0. I don't care how you get to the Super Bowl. Just get there and win it. But more importantly, get there and finish if you have a lead.
100%.
But I got one question to ask you. I got one question to ask you.
Okay.
I'm still trying to understand how you leave this particular person that wears red and gold that has an arrowhead as a logo on their helmet. How do you keep allowing this man to get wide open in the red zone and walk in the end zone? I'm not understanding. I'm not, because but I mean, that's like saying, why is Justin Jefferson always open all the doggone time, kind of like Jamar Chase? But that's apples and oranges. But who he's throwing the ball to in the red zone, but yet you still don't want to double team the man.
Always.
I'd rather have Sky Moore have a 3-touchdown game as opposed to Travis Kelce. I'm just saying. That's really hard for me to understand.
I don't know, man. I would have to ask the defensive coordinator that question. Like, how you not spy on him, put someone on him? It's not like he's super fast. It ain't like he's running a 4.3.
And he almost ended his season because the way the way his foot looked on that turf in Minnesota, and the way he walked off the field, and the way he threw his helmet down on the turf, you're thinking, is that an Achilles?
Well, according to a few of our viewers and good supporters of the show, they felt that Taylor Swift will nurse him back to health by means necessary, and then drop an album, afterwards, which I believe that will sell many records. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on with Travis Kelce.
Oh, that's funny right there. I don't care who you are. That is funny. Oh,
but I think I would have.
That
I
is-
think I would have.
oh.
But all jokes aside, I think I would have sat him. You know, there was no need for him. I mean, they were doing good without him, but you know, he is a threat when he's on the field. But I don't think I'd have used him like they were using him.
But nonetheless, well, let's just run down the scores real quick as we are still waiting for our guests, and we're going to send invites to more guests. But
Yes.
It was a very interesting day in sports. But kudos to the Jaguars early in the morning. The Jaguars are 2-0 in jolly old England. As
I'm telling
the Bills
you,
just look lethargic.
like I said about that, do not be shocked if the Jags move to London. I know Country K was on the show and said that will. I believe I was on their show. I can't remember.
You were on the Jaffos, which again.
Oh yes, okay. I was a guest on the Jaffos. Yes.
Special shout out to JP and Country K for always sending us the invite, even though I popped in for 5 good minutes and then popped out. But Mizzle, of course, always does good representation of the Mizzle An Dub Show. And, of course, we always appreciate the Jaffos for letting us on their show. Like I said, the door is always open for them. Hopefully one day we can get DJ Matt Sticks on with us, because Matt Sticks is also a part of the Jaffa Army, but of course he is a DJ and that's what pays the bills. But hopefully one day we can get Matt Sticks on along with JP and Country K and really, you know, shoot it as long as we can. But
well, I did tell Country K that we will be getting the Viking on one episode. He can't wait for that.
And Scotty, if you're watching, you said it was on, so we will figure out a day to where we can get you on. And
yes,
and Country K and the Viking will be Country K and the Viking.
Yes, love it.
But some real good pitching happened today, and we got a grand slam, which was enough, and just needed to get one more win to get to the next round, and I'm feeling pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Bochy. Bruce Bochy has made an appearance.
One win away from taking the Rangers to their first ALCS since 2011. They held off the Orioles by a final score of 11-8, which was carried by the grand slam, as I can get the scores up here. Come on now. There it goes. 11-8 the final score, but the big blow of the day for the Rangers came off the bat. If Wi-Fi would stop being, you know, doing that technological crap right now, which
it tends to want to always mess up a lot of when it comes to us.
Oh, come on. Doggone technology. And I mean, the bill's paid, so we're not, you know. So I'm just trying to understand why. Why can I get what I want? 11-8 was the final score, but the big blow came with Mitch Garver's grand slam. But you know, the Orioles came back. They fought hard, but Bradford gets the win. Rodriguez gets the loss, and the Texas Rangers in the driver's seat of getting to the ALCS and a chance to knock out the 101 win Baltimore Orioles out of the playoffs.
Wow!
But at least there is one game. At least there is one series that will at least go 4 games. The Minnesota Twins bounced back after the Astros won yesterday by a score of 6-4 in a close game. The Twins come back. They beat the Astros 6-2. As you wouldn't know this, but Carlos Correa, yes, the same Carlos Correa that couldn't get contracts from the Mets and the Giants, but came back to the Twins. But now Carlos Correa passes Derek Jeter and David Ortiz for the most RBIs in postseason history, which is pretty impressive. Now, yes, granted, you add the wild card series and you add the division series. So yes, that adds to your postseason totals, which is why Jeter is the all-time leader in postseason hits, and I think Manny Ramirez is still number one in all-time postseason home runs. But I still think Mickey Mantle, as far as World Series home runs, still has the record with 18, which is still impressive.
Sounds about right.
Because, as you know, back then, before division play began in 1969, if you won the pennant in your league, you went straight to the World Series. Now, of course, division play began back in 1969. That's where the LCS began. And the wild card came into fruition in 94. Then you have the division series since 95, so on and so forth. And then the last couple of years, you've now had the 3-game wild card series. So obviously, the more series that are added, obviously the chance to move up your RBI totals, so on and so forth. The Astros left from start to finish. But I will say this. Yordan Alvarez seems to play his best when the lights are the brightest. Like Altuve just seems to be not scared of the moment when it turns into October. He homered again today. Only runs for the Astros, but that didn't come until the 8th. By then, the Twins had a 6 in the league, so the Twins go back home to the Homer Hankey-friendly Target Field, and on Tuesday it'll pick back up with games 3 in each series, with the Astros and Twins starting at 1:07 Pacific time, and the Rangers and Orioles in prime time, with the Rangers having a chance to end the series and move to the ALCS. And the gift that keeps on giving in Los Angeles, California, playoff Kershaw shows up yet again on Saturday against the Diamondbacks. Not even, I don't think, a third of an inning he went. No, not even an inning.
0.1?
Maybe a third of an inning.
I think you said 0.1.
Yeah, 0.1.
0.1.
Did not record one single out and gives up 5 runs. No, gave up 6 runs. And the 6-run first inning, and the Diamondbacks never looked back. They beat the Dodgers soundly in Game 1, 11-2.
It's beautiful.
Merrill Kelly finally got his first win. Merrill Kelly got his first win against the Dodgers. He was 0-11 lifetime against the Dodgers, and then finally, the Dodgers have owned him for his career. But
talk
also,
about ownage.
Yeah, ownage is really ownage with that. I'm pretty sure if you're thinking the Atlanta Braves, when you saw that you were playing the Phillies again, you probably went like Bob Uecker did in Major League 2. Oh, shit. And it started that way again. It started that way again as the Phillies got to Spencer Strider. And once again, Bryce Harper just seems to be, for the moment, he just seems not to be scared. Reason why, Carmen, is because we didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday because we were both doing things. So since we both have the time to do it, we're catching up because there are actually some people more than me that actually do like playoff baseball. And on this show, we try to cover all aspects of the show. And plus, we can't stand that team that wears blue in Los Angeles.
What he said.
I'll say this. The Diamondbacks did their assignment. They got one.
Yeah.
Now they have a chance to get greedy tomorrow and possibly come back to Phoenix with a 2-0 lead. As I've said, and again, I'm not bashing them, even though I could, because that's just the Giants in me. But this particular Dodger starting pitching is not as strong as it has been in years past. The pitching has been a struggle. Now you're going to try to bullpen a game because most of your starters, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Walker Buehler tried to come back but couldn't. Now Julio Urias is probably never ever going to pitch for the Dodgers again. So 85% or 90% of your starting rotation is on the injured list. Now, yeah, they went out and got Lance Lynn, and Lance Lynn has been solid. And now Lance Lynn is going to be asked to try, in a sense, save the season for the Dodgers in Game 2. So we'll see what happens. So that's just a catch-up on your baseball scores. And now we'll get back to the matter at hand, which is the NFL season. As we're trying to send out invites. So bear with us, fans. We're trying to get a guest. But for those that are commenting in the comments, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
We
love it.
Please feel free to comment some more because, like we said all the time, Mizzle and I do this show for you guys, for your entertainment. And since you guys find us entertainment, here we are with episode 112. So,
cooking.
There it is.
Cooking.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Putting them out.
So, DJ Moore got a lot of people some fantasy points. Jamar Chase got a lot of people some fantasy points. My team's defense, if you had them, got you some fantasy points. Sam Howell got people some fantasy points. He had a very good game against the Bears, albeit in a losing cause. So, that just happened.
Excuse me. Jamar Chase got 55.
Yeah, a double nickel. Needless to say.
Of those things.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He
was wide the fuck open.
Needless to say. Yeah. Well, on this particular afternoon, he was indeed. He was definitely as open as he can be, and oftentimes as he wants to be, because he is one of the best runners in football. And today in the desert, Joe Burrow looked like Joe Burrow, the Joe Burrow that we've come to know and respect. He looked real good,
like Joe Cool.
Well, I mean, I'll just say it like this: today, the Bengals had balance on both sides. Joe Mixon ran the ball well to go along with Joe Burrow throwing the ball well. This is the Cincinnati Bengals offensively that we expect to see on a weekly basis. What you saw today, well, Steve, to answer your question, it was your typical Steelers-Ravens football game.
Facts.
I think the Ravens gave one away, but
Lamar gave it away. No, well, you know what? That's a bad statement. Lamar receivers let him down at first, and then Lamar cost him the game.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, we'll touch on the Lamar, the Pittsburgh.
It also does help when you have TJ Watt chasing him. That does help.
Well,
yeah, we'll get on that too. But yeah,
but they had the game in control though.
Was that they could not cover George Pickens because they found Pickens. So the PMP connection had a good connection, but then again, this is what you expect when you see Ravens and Steelers. It's always going to be a close game. It's always going to be hard hitting and physical. So you really are not going to see blowouts. And normally it always comes down to who has the last ball. And if Justin Tucker is going to decide it with his strong right leg, his strong, accurate right leg. So, I mean, the Ravens could have gone 3 up in the division, but they don't. So now Pittsburgh's still there in contention. So is Cincinnati. So is Cleveland. But me and Mizzle said that the AFC North might be the best division of football because of how competitive and how solid all 4 of these teams are. All 4 of these teams could possibly finish over 500, and 3 of those teams could get those 3 wild card slots. All 4 teams can make the playoffs. They have the possibility to, because there's only 2 teams I see in the AFC East that'll make the playoffs, which is right now the Bills and the Dolphins. Because I would say the Jets before Rodgers got hurt.
That's before Aaron Rodgers.
But right now it's between the Bills and the Dolphins as far as the AFC East goes. The South, even though the Colts are in first place, I still think it's the Jaguars.
The Texans are playing good football too, though.
The Texans, despite the fact that they lost a tough one to the Falcons, you see them going in the right direction. Under DeMeco Ryan, so that's highly expected. The AFC West is wacky because if by chance the Raiders do beat the Packers tomorrow, there you go. It's wacky. The whole AFC right now is wacky because the Dolphins were world beaters. Then they got humbled by the Bills. Then the Bills go to London, and they get beat by the Jaguars. And then the Dolphins, as you expect, came back, responded, and thrashed the Giants. Which for now, it may look like Tyrod Taylor might get a shot to start, and if he does, I really hope he does well because the man has been a solid player and has really not had the good breaks that he's had. So we'll see what happens, but okay. I know they were a playoff team.
Take on the game.
Go ahead.
I'll take on the game. The Pitt-Baltimore game is that the Baltimore Ravens let the Steelers get back in that game because they had everything going their way. The running game was going their way until the receivers start dropping the ball. I think two touchdowns got dropped. So you figure you at those points. I know shoulda, coulda, woulda, but if we're talking in how we feel about the game, I feel that if the receivers catch the ball, we're not sitting here talking about that. We'll be talking about it's a blowout.
It's a double digit. It's a double digit win for the Ravens.
And they go to 4-1. What happened is they dropped the ball. The Steelers did what they needed to do to stay close, and just how I think that game was played, you expected that Cowboy Niner game to go. I think that's how your expectation was. But that's how you just said earlier. That's how that division plays, especially the Steelers and the Ravens. They always play each other that way. So I was not shocked about that outcome. I just was shocked at Lamar towards the end. That fade he threw to the end zone to I can't remember who that was. I believe it was Odell Beckham. That was lazy. He didn't put that. He didn't put that out there. So I blame more of the Ravens letting the Steelers get that game than anything else.
You're not wrong.
So let's move on to Steve's next question. And Bill be done as a coach?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. And here's why I'm going to say yes.
The product of on the field?
That's one thing. And also Robert Kraft being cheap. And yes, I know Brady is all about team. And Brady took a lot of less money to try to keep the team intact. But they've been cheap with their contracts when it comes to having to try to keep their core people. That's why a lot of core pieces like Troy Flowers, like Cal Van Noy, et cetera, of why they left. However, people keep forgetting when Bill Belichick was the Cleveland Browns head coach, his record was 36-44. That's 8 games under 500. Okay,
that is a factual
he
stat
has been
right there, ladies and gentlemen.
he has been under 500 ever since Tom Brady left. Now, if you want to do the numbers, I'm glad you asked. I'll do it for you. Okay. So, get away. So, the record so you had all that. The Browns years, Brady not there, and the Matt Castle season. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
His record is 72 and 79. That's 7 games under 500. 72 and 79 when Tom Brady is not his quarterback. So
That says something.
all this talk about Bill Belichick being the GOAT as head coaches, pump your brakes and stop. Yes, he has been a fantastic defensive coordinator. He's been a great defensive coach. However, outside of Charlie Weiss and Josh McDaniels as his OC, who has ever been the OC not named Charlie Weiss and not named Josh McDaniels, has sucked. Okay, do we forget that Bill O'Brien basically dismantled the Texans team, and the Texans had some pretty good teams over the years? But this is the same Bill O'Brien that said, Arizona, here, take DeAndre Hopkins for nothing. Here, take J.J. Watt for nothing.
Hey, can I slide in because you brought up a good point. And now that you said that, and it brings up that the two of those, Josh McDaniels did the same thing when he went to Denver, traded away everything that was going good for Denver, which, as a Raider fan, I'm kind of happy about that. But it just goes on along what you just said about what Bill O'Brien did with the Texans, here. So I don't know what it is with the Belichick pupils. I guess if they don't have Tom Brady, they ain't worth a damn. And so you already know my comment. Josh McDaniels can ride his ass right the hell out of damn Vegas fast.
Well, you have been very adamant about that.
But I think Belichick might be gone. Definitely if they don't make the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs, which is not looking that way right now, I believe Kraft might want to look on to start something new. I'll be shocked if Mac Jones starts next week. I'll be shocked.
Yeah, Bradley Zappi might need to get a start because it's I don't want to say he's in the doghouse, but it just seems like Mac Jones might be in the doghouse. But then again,
wait,
O'Brien,
time out. New England come to Vegas next week. Go ahead and start Mac Jones. Yeah. Let's just have a repeat of last season. Yeah, so go ahead and start Mac Jones. Yeah, let's write that. Let's write that cap, as we say in Domino's.
So what you want to have him? So what you want to have him lateral the ball to a Raider defender, and a Raider defender scores at the end of the game like that, like the last time they played?
I just still want him to have the same mental collapse that he's having right now. I just want him to continue to have the same mental collapse. I don't want Zappy to take over at practice and get any kind of confidence and come into Vegas and hear them damn Patriot fans going bananas, and he feels like he can have a good day and have the spirit, the ghost of Tom Brady. Matter of fact, the ghost of Tom Brady won't even be there because Tom Brady will be there. So let's not have none of that happening. So just go ahead and start Mac Jones, and we'll go from there. Hence, stay tuned for our preview show when we predict next week's games. Might be a spoiler alert.
A little spoiler alert. You never know on the Mizzle An Dub Show. We are always full of surprises. You never know. Anyhow, to recap what went on in Week 5 of the NFL, let's go back to Thursday again. The Bears in their 14-game losing streak as they won in Landover against the
finally put it together.
The Bears 40-20 put up a 40 burger to get the first win. Again, DJ Moore spectacular, outstanding. Again, the Bills jet lagged by the Jaguars in London, or yes, in Joliet in London, 25-20. The Colts get the win over the Titans, 23-16. Shane Steichen, first-year coach, has got the Colts over 500. Now, I know Jonathan Taylor has been re-signed by the Colts, which is going to instantly help the offense and take a lot of pressure off Anthony Richardson. But if I'm Shane Steichen of the Colts, I would still find a way to implement Zach Moss, because Zach Moss, the last 2 games, has been running the ball very well for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
He was great today. 23 carries, $165, and 2 TDs. To which, again, I don't understand why the Bills do not utilize Zach Moss like the Colts are using now. I mean, when you have more yards than Derrick Henry, that's saying something. And Derrick Henry only had
the Bills wanted Cook and Singletary.
True. But now, not even Devin Singletary is on the team anymore. It's the James Cook show, along with Latavius Murray. But I would still utilize Zach Moss. I mean, Gardner Minshew came in, was solid 11-14, 155, took care of the ball. But at the end, the Titans just could not do much on offense, even though DeAndre Hopkins had himself a very nice game, 8 catches for 140 yards. But at the end, it's the Colts getting the win over the Titans. Titans, damn it. Titans! The former Houston Oilers. The Colts getting the win over the Titans, 23-16. And back to the whole Patriots thing. The New Orleans Saints get right against the Patriots to the atonement of 34-0. Mac Jones, again, was benched. Kamara had 22 carries, 80 yards, and touchdown. Carr threw for 2 TDs. Mike Thomas had 4 for 65 yards. And the Saints bounced back after being thrashed by the Buccaneers at home. They come back and get the win and go to 3-2 at 34-0. And the Patriots go back to 1-4. Now, over the years, I said, if Brady leaves, don't be surprised if you see the Patriots sucking again like they did before Brady got there. Now, yes, they had a few
we all said that.
Under Drew Bledsoe and Bill Parcells. Yes. But as we said, if Brady was to leave, we will see truthfully if it was the system or the quarterback. And clearly, as you can see, it's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. Which, again, Bradley Zappi, he might run Mac Jones out of Foxborough. You never know. Already talked about the Ravens Steelers 17-10. The Atlanta Falcons found a way to get it done at the end as Young Ho Cool. Another game-winning field goal, but Bijan Robinson, again, it continues to show why he might be the offensive player of the year. One hand, Mom. One hand. Look, Mom, one hand. But actually, they let Desmond Ridder throw the football, and Mr. Ridder threw for 329 and a touchdown.
Yeah, he cut loose.
And was greatly impressed.
He cut loose in this one.
And hey, what do you know? He found Kyle Pitts and got him the football. Finally, Kyle Pitts can give me some fantasy points. You don't say. But Kyle Pitts had 7 catches for 87 yards. Dalton Schultz, 7 catches, 65 yards and touchdown. Damian Pierce, 20 carries and 66 yards. Robinson carried the ball 14 times for 46 yards to caught a touchdown pass. But the Falcons, right there at 3-2, half game behind the Buccaneers, who had the bye week, and solid win for the Buccaneers last week against the Saints going into that bye week. The Lions did what they're supposed to do, beat the Panthers, put up a 40-burger. Tricky Lions doing some tricky moderation. But the Lions off to a 4-1 start, clearly in first place in the NFC South. David Montgomery, 19 carries, Bucko 9, and a touchdown. Goff efficient, 20-28, 236, and 3 TDs. as the Lions just continue to roll and go to 4-1, and they sit up top the NFC North alone by their lonesome. Dolphins bounce back against the Giants, win 31-16.
Did they?
A-Chain, that Devon A-Chain, that kid is fast and just fast beyond fast. And
Enough said.
how do you leave that wide open? But the
It's the
Dolphins
same
back
thing
on
you
track.
asked
They
about
get the win,
Kelsey.
31-6. Why? Bengals beat the Cardinals 34-20. As previously mentioned, Burrow and Jamar Chase combined for 3 TDs. They seem to be back in good synergy. Joe Mixon ran the ball well. Zach Taylor was obviously very pleased.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the Bengals could win. Joe Burrow threw for 317, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Joe Mixon ran the ball 25 times for 81 yards. And of course, Mr. Chase, 15 catches, $192, and 3 TDs. The Rams must not like playing at home. That is SoFi Stadium because I believe.
Well, it's not
I
a
am not
home. It's not a
mistaken,
home stadium for him.
No, it's not. But every home game thus far at SoFi, they have lost.
Mm-hmm.
Every home game that they've
Absolutely.
played in the regular season, they've lost. They lost to the Niners there, obviously. They lost to the Eagles today, and they lost to the
Seahawks?
Who else did they lose to?
The
Well, that
Seahawks?
was in Seattle.
Okay.
No, that was one of the games they won on the road. Talk about home games. Who was the other home game they lost to? There was Niners, Cowboys. Who was the 13?
Can't think of that right at the moment.
Can't think of it, but we'll get back to that. Anyhow, going down the line, the Eagles do beat the Rams 23-14. At times,
It was competitive.
It was
good to see Cooper Kupp back on the field.
Competitive. Yes, and he picked up from where he left off. He had 8 catches for $118. Hurts was being Hurts. 300-yard passing day, ran for 72 yards, but A.J. Brown, 6 catches for $127. But the Eagles had enough defense. Jalen Carter is a force. The former Georgia Bulldog is a huge force in that defense, but also, how do you not know how to make sure Hassan Reddick does not impact your game? I'm still trying to understand that.
That guy is something else, man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is not human. He is of a different universe for sure.
He's a football player for sure.
Yes, he is. But I mean, Stafford didn't turn the ball over, but at the end of the day, the win goes to the Philadelphia Eagles as they will continue to fly. Eagles fly. Chiefs get the win barely over the Vikings, 27-20, as the Vikings continue to find ways to shoot themselves in the foot. And as mentioned, the Jets find a way to get it done. They beat the Broncos.
Well, we were hoping to have a Jets fan on to speak upon that, his team and that W. But, yeah.
We're still trying
Zach
to get him
Wilson.
On, but hopefully he will do.
Zach Wilson. What can you, the young man is growing up right now. It looks like the tutelage of Aaron Rodgers is paying off.
That it is.
I mean, he did have that bad interception, but he other than that, he played pretty good football. Breece Hall is that dude. So we just don't have to say too much about Breece Hall.
Yes, he is.
He's just that dude.
Yes, he is.
If you always want to get your first down, you find Garrett Wilson. He was tremendous.
Or Randall Cobb.
Yeah. But Sean Payton, you were brought in to revitalize Russell Wilson's career. And he's looking pretty shitty.
Fix the mess.
Shittier than he was last year with who it was? Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
So
He's now got the last laugh yesterday with his. Yeah. He got his last laugh with that. But nonetheless, the Jets do get the win, 31-21. And then, of course, come on now. Where's the other score? Come on, don't do that. But again, Breece Hall is the engine that makes it go for the Jets.
For sure.
As again, they get the 31-21 win in Mile High. And of course, tonight, Mizzle's beloved Raiders takes on the Green Bay Packers. To which that's a very good question, Steve. Should the Vikings should the Vikings start selling off players and try to get something for Cousins because we know they're not re-signing him?
Well, I know the Broncos are going to be on a fire sale right now, and who would trade for Kirk Cousins right now? What team? Who could use him?
Not me. One team that could probably use him right now. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know of any team that would trade for Kirk Cousins.
I would say if anything,
I would say
it seems like the Jets are. See, we're on the same page. But I believe they're riding with Zach Wilson, so I don't see.
They are
no.
And plus, anytime, and I mean, yes, and I mean, yes, I know the Broncos are struggling, but anytime you go to Denver and you win in Mile High and you win in altitude, it's a beautiful win because again, you're dealing with the elements, you're dealing with the altitude, you're dealing with the whole air situation.
Yeah.
It just is. But Steve, my other question would be is what pieces. My other question would be what other pieces are you selling off? Because
you're not trading Justin Jefferson. That's definitely not happening.
You're not trading him.
I think they just re-signed Hunter to a multi-year deal, so you're not trading Hunter.
They
did. On the defensive side of the ball. Addison, you're not getting rid of him, and that would be like the only. So
my question would be, what specific players are you talking about?
Yeah, I just see Minnesota just riding out the rest of this year, and they'll figure out something at the rest of the year because I believe their coach is this the second or first year with their coach?
This is Kevin O'Connell's second year as Vikings head coach.
Okay. Yeah, so they're not gonna do anything yet. They'll probably figure out something at the end of the year, and they'll go from there. But at the beginning of the year, when Aaron Rodgers went down, I could have seen them looking at trying to go get Kirk Cousins, but not right now. They'll probably ride it out.
Well, we got more early morning football coming to you next week. Another 6:30 game coming to your way by way of NFL Network.
I'll be watching.
And that is the hard-hitting contest between the Tennessee Titans. And the Ravens. They will have some international football flavor starting on early Sunday morning. But the Thursday night game, and I don't know why they're doing this, is the Chiefs at home against the Broncos on Amazon Prime. Oh, question for Mizzle. Steve, we sent you the link. If you just want to come on, we sent you the link.
If I would to take that, I would say more Kirk Cousins, maybe because he can deliver the deep ball better than Jimmy Garoppolo and the receivers that we have. I mean, you have arguably the best receiver in the NFL who can go deep, and he's going to beat double coverage regardless. Jimmy Garoppolo can't deliver that ball. Clearly, that was already shown this year when he almost got Devontae Adams murdered. Kirk Cousins can deliver that deep ball, and he can throw any pass in the NFL. So, yeah, I'll take Kirk Cousins, but when it comes to crunch time situation, I don't trust my coach. I don't trust my coach. And that's where it is. But, yes, I would definitely take Kurt over Jimmy G just for the simple fact of the matter for the receivers that we have.
Well, just to pinpoint on the standings, not counting tonight's game between the Packers and the Raiders, you, sir, are 54-24, 50-24. That's you, and I am 44-31.
Whoa!
And
so wait, run down the
okay.
Today, what happened today? Because I thought you picked up some games, so that's crazy. I thought you picked up some games.
No,
I'm shocked.
We both picked the Commanders and lost. We both picked the Bills and lost. We both picked the Texans and lost. One with the Lions. You won with the Colts. I lost with the Titans. We both won with Miami. We both won with the Saints. We both took L's on the Ravens. You took a win with the Cardinals and Bengals. And, of course, we matched on the Eagles on down, with the exception of tonight's game, which we don't know the results. But we'll see if Mizzle will be up 7 games on me or 6.5 as he stands right now.
And I picked the Packers, correct?
But right now, we both picked Green Bay, yes.
Is it too late to switch that pick? Or are we locked in?
Play if you want. No. If you feel like something and you want to change your pick, the game has not started yet, so go ahead.
I'm going with my team.
Oh,
I feel. Don't ask me. This is not me being a fan. It's just something has to give. Something totally has to give. Mm-hmm. And right now, the Packers' offensive line, and I know we said this, the Chargers are a different human being when we played the Chargers and they wasn't healthy.
Correct.
But the Packers' offensive line, even before their star player got hurt, it's spotty. So I think Max can get there. I think I'm calling this right now. Here's my bold prediction. I think I might have said this before though. Tyree Wilson does get his first sack in the NFL in Monday Night Football under the lights. Yes, that has happened.
Well, we know Max that would be the best way to get it.
We know Max is going to be Max. There's no Nate Hobbs in this one, so the nickel spot is going to be a little spotty. But I believe Josh Jacobs will get 100 yards this game. I think we might slow down the offense and maybe not try to throw the deep ball with Jimmy, but can use Jimmy's strengths in this game. So yeah, I'm gonna be a homer and I'm gonna ride with my rate. Yeah. And guess what? If they don't win, right, there will possibly be a show Monday night after the game when I get off work, and the passion will be unloaded. Because if Josh McDaniels does not call a good game, which I think, oh man, he's about to get out coached by a damn genius over there with the Packers. I think the defense is going to show up. I just don't trust I don't trust my offensive minded head coach. I think the defense shut out Justin Herbert last week in the second half. They shut out Justin Herbert in the second half last week. I think they can contain Jordan Love. I think they can.
You are correct. You are correct.
I think they can. So
You're not wrong.
either tomorrow night I will be doing the show with my
Well, there
brother,
was some-
angry or smiling.
And then we will give our predictions for week 6. But right now, as it stands, tequila is winning. Tequila is winning big time so far.
Well, it's still we still got plenty of football to go. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and you know that better than anything else.
That is correct. Interesting matchup here.
What we got?
Well, it's a battle of 1-3 and 1-4 teams, to where you have the 1-4 Patriots taking on your 1-3 Raiders.
Oh, next week?
Correct.
Okay, we're coming in on a short week. So I would love to make that prediction right now, but I would love to see how the Monday night game plays out to see how we will come into that game, because I already know how the Patriots are coming to this game. I mean, they lost 2 of their best defensive players. I think
Correct.
Judon is done for the year.
Correct.
And the stud
Gonzalez
is out.
Ooh.
Gonzalez won't be playing in this game at all. So
yeah, if Matthew Judon is out for the season, that's a big problem for the Patriots. A very big problem.
Well, right now it's out for the season, but I believe he's trying to get a second opinion. But the injury he sustained, it's season ending. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just toss-up. It really is a toss-up, because, I mean, it can go and bounce either way, and you just don't know which version of which team you're going to get.
Or what Mac Jones you're going to get.
After tomorrow's game. If he starts, that's the main thing.
True.
Because we don't know if he's going to start or not. It could be it could be Zappy. We don't know. We really don't know if it could be Zappy. But we will go further into detail about Week 6 tomorrow after the Raiders and Packers game that will take place at Allegiant Stadium, to which you can catch on ESPN and ABC, to which it's good seeing Monday Night Football on its original home, ABC, where it should be. You never should have left it in the first place. But
so it's going to be broadcasted on ESPN and ABC? Oh, that's awesome. I might find that on the TV. Good. Might can find it at work tomorrow then.
But I think for the rest of the season, I think all the Monday night games are going to be aired on ABC/ESPN also. So if you only have local TV, you might possibly be able to see your team on the American broadcasting company known as ABC. But some very interesting matchups next week that will catch your attention. Certainly one that we didn't think would be a huge matchup implications would be the Lions and Buccaneers, but you got the 4-1 Lions traveling to the 3-1 Buccaneers. That's going to be a dandy of just a dandy of a game.
Yeah, that would be a great game to preview.
And of course, we will see. If it's going to be 1-4 versus 1-4, or will it be a 2-4 team against a 1-4 team? We never know. You never know. Or should I say, a 2-3 team take on a 1-4 team for next Monday night? We don't know.
Yes,
but that's why we watch the games, and we will soon find out. So right now, Mizzle is 50-24. Of course, that's not counting tonight's game. I am 44-31. So it seems like as I inch closer, I take about a couple of steps back just because. But anyhow, we thank you for watching 112, not the band, but number 112 of this episode of the Mizzle An Dub Show. And to our viewers that came in to watch, we appreciate you. And to those that came in and commented,
yes,
we appreciate all.
This is what this platform is about. This is why we got it.
We really do.
Yes, we do appreciate it.
Feel free to comment. And again, any particular subject you want to talk about, let us know. Or if you want to come on the show, let me and Mizzle know. We will send you the link, and you can hop in and give us your sports expertise. Because that's
even if it's also, for 2 seconds to ask a question and then leave.
Yeah. Special shout out to the All Pro Jaffos. Catch them with the big Kawante Foster, DJ Matt Sticks, and of course my partner on the Ring Psychology 2.0 podcast, Mr. JP himself. Don't forget about the other side of the ball, A7FL on Wednesdays on Vegas Media Hype Networks and on the Facebook Vegas Media Hype Networks page on Facebook. Of course, my good friends on the East, or as Debo likes to call them, Corey A. Smith, the 3-on-1 podcast with Matt, Rob, and Corey, as the Viking was on their show this past week, and eventually we will get the Viking on the Mizzle An Dub Show, and the Viking can be himself, be the Viking. But again, we thank you to all of us for watching. We thank you to those that subscribed, and for those that are thinking about subscribing, do it. It'll be highly entertaining on your way home from work, especially if one of do it now, especially if one of us is having passion about our particular teams. And speaking of particular teams, there was actually some preseason BS basketball that took place over the weekend, and even
only one of them won. The other one didn't, because they can't beat the Celtics.
But
can't even beat them in preseason.
Oh boy. But on the flip side, the Warriors
wait till our basketball shows kick in. and you're gonna get passion, because that's two sides of the NBA that I represent. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Don't forget that. But the Warriors soundly beat the Lakers 125-108. Jonathan Kuminga had some good minutes yesterday, as Kuminga had 24 points as he shot 8 of 14 from the floor. And looking at more team stats, Warriors shot the ball better. 3-pointers were average. Turnovers, the Warriors had 2+ more. But the edge and rebounding went to the Warriors at 61-49, which was shocking. Very, very shocking. But, I mean, here we go. Preseason basketball is in full effect. Normally, that takes place little towards middle or early part, middle of the month is when it normally happens. But, hey.
Well, you know how October is. October, we get basketball, baseball, and football in 1 month. That is perfect. And sprinkle in a little bit of boxing. Love it. But also we got to give a shout out to the intro producer and the outro producer, and also the voices that did the intro. Got to give a shout out to Zordoc. Look that up on YouTube. If you ever look for beats, he's the one for you. And shout out to Little Big Brother, and shout out to nephew. Shout out to nephew Sam for the voices on the intro. Definitely got to give those guys some love on that. You couldn't do it without them.
Yes, indeed. But definitely can't do without them. But we thank you for watching episode 12 of the Mizzle An Dub Show. He is Mizzle. I am Dub. And if your team won, happy Victory Monday. And as always, it's 12, 5 o'clock. 12, 5 o'clock Sunday.